Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
Episode 156, the first Triple Crown of this 2019 Monster Energy Supercross season is complete, and it did not disappoint at all. Some great racing. As we said, everything is up in the air. Anyone can win. We're going to get into that with our 450 recap. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
What?
Dude, crazy night of racing. I loved every minute of it. Lots of surprising stuff, some not so fortunate stuff for some people, but what do you say? We just jump right into this?
Yes. Let's start with this LCQ, or this qualifying rounds. We mentioned in our last podcast how Marvin Musquin had the fastest qualifying time, almost by a second over the 250 guys, which was his Frenchman compadre, Dylan Ferrandis. Musquin with a 57.6 over Eli's 57.7. And Red Plate Roxon, who had a 58.3.
Red Plate Roxon. I saw our nickname is catching on, Red Plate Roxon. So that's cool.
Yeah, you saw that. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, already looking like it's going to be a great night.
Justin Brayton is surprisingly fourth fastest. And
what do you mean surprisingly?
I don't know. I guess I'm not surprised, really. I'm not surprised. But Jason Anderson, 5th. Cooper Webb, 6th. Justin Hill, 7th. Joey Savacci, 8th. Dean Wilson, 9th. Justin Barsha, 10th. Plessinger, 11th. Freezy, 12th. Seeley all the way back there in 13th. Last week's winner, Blake Baggett, back there in 14th. Justin Bogle, 15th. Yeah. Chad Reed all the way in 16th. Tyler Bauer, 17th. Alex Ray, 18th. And going to the LCQ, Ben LeMay, Pellegrini, Chisholm, Enticknap.
Funny that you mentioned Alex Ray. He actually bumped out Kyle Chisholm, his HEP teammate, out of the 18th place, and he moved them to the LCQ. So I think that's kind of messed up, but I mean, it is racing. Also, at one point, like in the second qualifier, the fastest time leader switched 4 times. So it went from Webb to Roxon to Eli to Musquin.
It's crazy. Yeah, everyone is. That's what I'm saying. It's up in the air. That's what made Anaheim 2, this first Triple Crown, so awesome, because we don't know who's going to win. Even after you look at the lap times, you're like, what?
And it's been like that every single round.
It has.
Up to here.
Yeah, so it did make for some great races. Let's just go ahead and jump into this LCQ. As we said, those names that didn't make it through. Just a couple things to note out of this. Kyle Chisholm had a bad crash on the start. Video is on our Instagram at MXSX Podcast, where he went headfirst into the ground.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. We hope you're okay, Chiz. And nice little pile-up who involved Bubba Pulley was there.
Yep.
Shoemaker.
Heath Harrison was also in there.
Yep. So, yeah, Chisholm out of this race. The 7 Deuce not making it again.
Yep.
So
yeah, he had his. He was kind of up front too, and then he fell. Right.
Yeah. So looks like HEP was going to be represented by Alex Ray.
Yeah. But yeah, so Ben LeMay won this race. Pellegrini got 2nd. Paulatelli got 3rd. Ronnie Stewart getting that final transfer position, but not making it in was Carlin Gardner, who made the last 2. And same with Cole Martinez, who we saw a lot last year's name. Catanzaro. Sucks for them, but really good for some of those other names. Pellegrini from Italy. So,
Italia.
Yeah, Italia.
Angelo Pellegrini.
And he's 31 years old. He's one of the older riders in this class, in this sport.
Yeah, he's him and his mechanic were super stoked of making it to this main event of the night show.
His mechanic maybe just a little bit more, though.
Oh, definitely.
But let's go ahead and jump right into this first main event, this first Triple Crown of the season.
Yeah, Ken Roxon with a great hole shot. Webb close by. Musquin right there as well, and Tomac.
Seeley, Savacci, Hill. Reed even was top 10 off the start of this. Anderson was kind of buried as he's been all year. Same with Barsha. Barsha didn't show up as I thought he would. I think I picked him to win. He was not great.
So first lap going in, Musquin makes a mistake. It allows Eli to get that 3rd place position. At this point, Barsha is sitting in 11th. Anderson is sitting in 9th. Eli, like I said, Eli and Musquin battling up for 3rd. He takes the position from him. Anderson back there battling with Chad Reed.
Yeah, legend Chad Reed.
Okay, legend Chad Reed gets passed by Anderson.
Close. That's a close pass, too. They got really close.
Oh, yeah. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, they definitely got close.
Yeah,
Little
Anderson
too close.
also manages to pass Hill. It was a little bit forced, but he managed to pass it.
Yep.
Barsha also passes Chad. Blake Baggett with a terrible start. He's sitting in 13th place.
Terrible. So terrible. He even
Yeah.
had problems. He got caught in the tough blocks, too. We talked in our last episode about how the tough blocks really played a factor in this race because we had those couple incidents in the 250s, and then it seems like we had a bunch more incidents here with the 450s, and Blake Baggett getting one sucked up in his wheel. Couldn't even, go anywhere.
That's the worst thing it could happen to you as a rider.
They should have that fixed by now. They got to find a way to keep those on there better so that can't even be possible. If they just got to paint instead of putting covers on, just I don't know,
just printing them on it.
Something or just secure them better because that shouldn't even be possible because that's pretty dangerous. If he would have made it to a jump or something and that happened.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
Another thing that I thought was funny was Anderson whenever he passed Joey Savacci. Ralph was like, he's past the Versace because it's his Instagram name.
Yeah.
He called him Versace.
Yeah. So with 5 minutes to go, the top three guys still less than 3 seconds apart. That was Roxon, Webb, and Tomac.
Yeah.
Also Muskin right there.
Webb looked insane.
Webb looked real good. Marvin with an impressive pass over Eli Tomac. Ironically, in the whoop sections, the part of the track that he struggles with the most, he managed to pass the number 3.
Yeah, it's funny. It's so funny because everyone's like, oh, Marvin sucks in the whoops. But that one whoop section was pretty big, and he was the best at jumping through them, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was definitely making it work. Roxon and Webb went at it. They're still going at it. They went at it pretty much the whole race.
Yeah.
And, just like 2 years ago, whenever they were at Anaheim 2, just battling it out, and the whole situation with Roxon happened.
He got sucked up in his tire. Well, he took out Webb and then got sucked up in his tire in the process and totally wrecked his other arm.
That's all I can think of, too. That's all I can think of whenever I saw them battling and getting close to each other. I was like, oh, no.
Exactly. And one thing that was different was Webb was behind Roxon this time. He was just sizing him up the entire race. He didn't let him get more than a second in front of him, and he was just waiting for his moment. He was just waiting to seize. You could tell he was just eyeing him up that whole time and just setting him up. And
yeah, he kept him on us the whole race until the last second.
The very last lap. Yeah. And I love this pass that he put on him because it got really close. Ken Roxon made the littlest mistake and Webb just seized on it. And I thought Ken could have made the pass back because he cut in super early. He looked over and saw Webb was way on the inside, so he was going to square that turn up early before the whoops, but Bogle was right there rolling through him. But I feel like if Bogle wasn't there, I think Ken would have had a good chance to pass him back.
He would have a chance to pass him back, but that wasn't the case. Webb took the lead over Roxon in the last second.
That's right.
And also gave him the pew pew.
Yeah, exactly. He finger gunned him. He totally finger gunned him.
That's disrespectful.
No, it ain't. He's just killing the competition, bro. He's just
pew pew.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just funny because it's Webb.
Maybe he was like Spider-Man because his web, he was throwing a web at him. Boom.
Oh yeah, throwing a web. He shot a web at him, gun style. Yeah. But it was straight up and down gun. He didn't turn it sideways, gangster gun. It was just a regular shot. But yeah, I wonder what that was all about. Shot. I wonder if there was something more to that. Maybe he was thinking back to last Anaheim. And he was just like, hey, remember when you made me crash out? Gotcha. But congrats to him, winning his first 450, I guess main event, you could call it. And
yeah,
he was just the better man that race. He really was.
Yeah, super excited. He really was. He put the pass on him last second, and he kept him honest the whole race. So Cooper Webb took the first place. Ken Roxon got second. Marvin Muskin in third, which is awesome for him. Finally, good result in a race. Eli Tomac with fourth. Cole Seeley, another one that's finally showing name and everything, in fifth. Jason Anderson in sixth, still struggling. Justin Barsha in seventh. Joey Versace Savacci in eighth. Dean Wilson in ninth. And then Chad Reed with your top 10 right there.
Exactly. Chad Reed finishing that top 10. And let's go ahead and jump into 450 number 2. And after the 250 main, they kind of had like a preview shot for the 450 main with all the riders like on the gate, you know. The camera was mostly focused on Webb, just kind of like, you know, pumping his arms, getting loose out there. And in the gate right next to him is Chad Reed, and he's not on his bike. He's just kind of standing there holding his helmet. And in the background, you can see the JGR guys kind of run in and looking a little panic. And
well, you just see him like pushing that bike off the gate and then just kind of like, oh, okay, we'll start, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of interesting because he got a DNS out of this, even though they had the 2-bike situation that you can check 2 bikes in, and they did not take advantage of it. Ricky Carmichael made a comment on it. They asked Chad Reed what was wrong with it. He didn't really had any comment on it. It was something definitely happened though. And
well, here's the thing. First, he got 10th in the first race, and then they interview him because he doesn't start, and they're like, yo, why aren't you out there? And he's like, oh, the bike was messed up. We couldn't get it fixed. It's like, well, you just got 10th. How messed up can it be? And how messed up can it be that you can't go out there at all? You should at least take the 50. He had the 50. Take the 50 out there. At least if you can do a lap, anything's better than a DNS. The whole situation was just really weird. They asked him what happened. He wouldn't say what happened, but
exactly. It was very secretive, like the way that they pushed the bike away, and then he was like, I thought we thought we had it fixed a couple of times, but obviously it wasn't safe for me to go out there. So we just decided not to start this race.
He got 10th in the first race. How unsafe could it really be?
Well, and then he came out swinging on the third main event, which we'll talk about it in a second. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really make sense, and especially with the 2-bike situation.
Why don't you have 2 bikes? You're a factory team, right? Like, what is happening? And then another thing, like before that third main event, I think it was the 250s, they had the like a little Toyota sponsorship like moment where they had Toyota trucks on the starting gate with a replica Justin Hill bike in it. It's like, take that bike. Like, anything's better than nothing. Like, you didn't start the race. Like, it's totally unacceptable to not start the race.
Not only unacceptable, it's just weird. The whole thing is just
weird.
Absolutely weird. Just
weird.
Very, very secretive and
weird.
I don't know if sketchy will be the right word, but definitely weird.
That full moon. It's a full moon making things weird. That was so weird.
Yeah. So... so moving on. Webb got the whole shot on this one.
Yes.
Anderson and Seeley with a great start right there, right behind them.
Marvin and Savacci, too. They were up there this race as well.
Yeah. Barsha with a mistake and almost goes down.
No, who almost goes down is Seeley. Actually, like, Muskian makes a pretty aggressive pass on Cole Seeley for that second place spot. And then, like, right after that, Seeley almost threw it all away on, like, that little tiny first double of the rhythm section. Like, it had, like, a pretty deep rut, but you could hear his panic rev all throughout the stadium. And everyone, like, freaked out for a second. But he saved it. He didn't crash.
That allowed Roxon to move up one spot on him. And Tomac and Anderson battling out for 6th place. Like, what's happening with this class?
Exactly. Barsha back there, too. He was in 5th. And that's just how stacked it is. It was awesome. That's exactly what I'm saying. Well, first of all, Roxon ended up going down in the whoops, and he fell all the way back to 9th. He was able to, like, quickly get past Baggett and stuff for 8th. That moved Muskin back to 2nd. But it was, like, the big battle of this race. The big names, Anderson, Tomac, Roxon. It's this
Barsha.
like, it's the battle everyone wanted to see, These are but they're battling for 4th. It's like, what? This is happening. That's how crazy it was. And it was just awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, Anderson losing positions left and right and not really putting a battle back. Like, I wonder what's happening behind the scenes with this team, because we've had 3 races so far. We've had Anderson in winning position, like last week in Glendale, and he just kind of got passed by Baggett and he just kind of let off, Same thing here. He's just not applying pressure. He's not competing. He's not really giving us anything to talk about. Just we'll have to look into that.
It's so weird, though. It's so weird, too, because he had the fastest lap time out of everybody in this whole race. He had a 59.1. And Cooper Webb had a 59.4, Musquin a 59.2, Tomac a 59.9. Is like he has the speed. He has the fastest lap out of everyone in that whole race, and he still finishes 6th place.
Yeah. Top 7 on the 59th, by the way. 59's lap time.
Exactly. That's what's awesome too. The first 7 people are within half a second of each other with their best times. So
with time wise, yeah.
Yeah, so that makes it very exciting too. So yeah, Cooper Webb wins a back-to-back. He goes back-to-back with these main events. He doesn't win any all year. He's got 2 wins already. So that was awesome. Musquin got 2nd. KTM's look sick. Justin Barcia got 3rd. Eli Tomac got 4th. Ken Roczen 5th. Jason Anderson, as we said, 6th. Cole Seeley 7th. Dean Wilson 8th. Aaron Plessinger 9th. Blake Baggett, last week's winner, 10th. Justin Hill 11th. Vince Friese 12th. Joe Savacci 13th. Brayton 14th. Bowers 15th. Ben LeMay 16th. Alex Ray 17th. It was just Bogle back there in 18th. So DNS for Chad Reed, not great. Yeah, at least he was able to get everything finished out for this 3rd race. And this 3rd race was a little crazy because another points thing as well. If Cooper Webb, he wants to win the overall, he's set up the best to win the overall.
Yeah.
But we got Marvin and
KTM already, Red Bull KTM looking good coming into this 3rd main event. Cooper Webb, as you mentioned, he won both of the first ones in a great position to take the overall. Marvin Musquin as well. And where is Eli Tomac? Where is Ken Roczen? Where is Justin Barcia? Where is Jason Anderson? Where is, these guys are supposed to be up front. Nowhere to be found.
Well, in this 3rd race, that changed a little bit because Tomac ripped the whole shot on this, but still Webb was right there. He was still right up there behind him. It was just a great night for Webb. Reed, though, coming back after his DNS, and he was up in 3rd place, and Anderson was up there, and he just kept dropping positions, as we've been saying, just classic Anderson this year, and he was just trying so hard not to lose any more positions. And he actually ended up causing a little mayhem because he ended up bumping Baggett off the track, and then he had to go around the triple, and it was just it was just wild.
Yeah, Plessinger and Dino almost ran into him too.
Yeah, it's just the track was a little sketchy and super beat up at this point, but yeah, just not the greatest start for him. But Reed, though, I feel like he excels a lot whenever the track gets really nasty. Reed's not bad when he's in the race.
So yeah, he's in 4th, showing a wheel of 2 to move up front. He was battling with Roczen for a little bit and not making it easy on the 94, the red plate Roczen.
That's right. And Reed got so much TV time this race. The cameras were just all over him.
Yeah, they didn't get enough on the 2nd one, so.
Yeah, and Tomac started dominating out front, so nobody was even challenging him at all.
Yeah. That was what Tomac was looking for throughout the whole night.
Yeah, this whole season.
They talked about it. They talked about last year how he won half of the races and still was not able to do it. He's actually been doing it for the last couple of years and not being able to clinch the title. So that's the Eli Tomac that everybody's expecting, great starts. And that's the problem. When he doesn't get a good start, he struggles so much to make passes, especially this year, man. This year with this stat class is very hard. But Cooper Webb in a position to be calm throughout the whole race, not to throw away. All he had to do was finish.
Yep. He was running second, and he had his teammate Marvin. Marvin moved up to 3rd, so he had his teammate right behind him. So he just had to, like you said, just finish the race.
Yeah, he just had to finish the race. After that, Barcia went down pretty hard in one of the triples.
Biggest crash of the night, and we didn't really get to see it on the broadcast because it was cut off and it was coming from a different angle, but they did have a little bit of it. And dude, he ejected very similar to what Roczen did 2 years ago when he first busted up his arm. Exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah. He jumped off the bike. I guess he saw something better jumping off than staying on it.
Yeah.
There was a med flag was out, and Barcia was not getting up, so definitely not looking good for him.
I thought they were going to red flag it for sure.
Me too. I thought so too, but it was towards the end, so I figured they're just trying to deal with it like this.
Yeah. And then they cut to him. They carried him off. And they didn't even put him on a board or anything. So I guess he wasn't hurt too bad, right? If they carry him off like that. You
can
figure.
definitely see the pain in his face.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely in pain, but you would think if it was like a serious injury, like they wouldn't do what they did because they literally had like a person under his armpits just carrying him off.
So, yeah, hope you're okay, bud, and hope to see you back in Oakland battling out this championship because I believe that he could be a contender, and it hasn't really shown the last race, but he can still be up there. He has the speed. So,
and whenever this happened, I don't know if you noticed this, but a couple riders were jumping on that red cross flag. Like they had the red lights blinking, which I think is really hard to see because we saw Tomac hit that first double. We saw Dean Wilson hit 2 doubles. Like no one got penalized, which also is kind of weird because they were definitely jumping on that blinking light. Definitely.
Huh.
So maybe just because it's like Tomac was dominating so hard, they're like, oh, we can't do it. But it could also be, I'm telling you, those lights are really hard to see. You can't see them until you're like on the face of the jump. And they didn't have a red cross. They had a caution flag, but the flagger in the beginning of the turn didn't have a red cross flag or anything. So I think it was a little sketchy too, just because they definitely should have had someone there just in the position he was down at and stuff, and not knowing how injured he is, that flagger should have had a red cross flag, but he didn't.
Gotcha. Yeah, Dino and Plessinger battled throughout this whole race until the end. Dino overjumped one of the rhythm sections and allowed Plessinger to take 6th place over him.
He face planted twice on his bike. He overshot the first one and hit really hard, and then he overshot the second one or landed short on the second one and hit really hard. He had 2 really hard cases in a row.
Yeah, so Eli will take the win. Marvin Muskin will get 2nd. Cooper Webb will get 3rd. Ken Roxon will get 4th. Chad Reed with a 5th place. Plessinger with 6th. Dino with a 7th. Joey Savacci in 8th. Justin Hill in 9th. Vince Friese in 10th. And outside the top 10, it was Braden, Bogle, Bowers, Jason Anderson, Justin Barsha, who obviously DNF.
And Alex Ray, the HEP Suzuki, the one who's making the mains, they showed him on the side of the track. I don't know if he had a bike problem or if he went down or something, but
I think he went down. And he just kind of getting up.
Some bad luck for that HEP this weekend.
Yeah. So Eli finally tastes the quote-unquote win of a main, but the overall was going to be for Cooper Webb.
Yes.
First-time winner on the Premier class. Congratulations to him. He definitely deserved it. He put the hard work, and you can see it. He put a great effort. He deserved it with a 1-1 and a 3rd, and another first-time winner and another KTM winning this overall.
I was so close. I said it would be crazy, but maybe it wouldn't be that crazy if I predicted that there would be a different winner for all the races. And almost. Cooper Webb won too. But besides that, it would have been different. So I guess maybe it was crazy to think that. But no, I don't think anyone picked Cooper Webb.
Definitely, it was an unexpected winner. Same as last week, though, with Blake Baggett.
It's anyone's game. Anyone can win.
Yeah, just to show you, exactly. Just to show you that there could be anyone up there in the top step. And amazingly, Ken Roxon keeping that red plate for another week.
Yeah.
But 3rd different winner on 3 different rounds in this 450 class. So stacked.
Yep, I love it.
Cooper went with a win. Muskin with 2nd place. Eli Tomac with 3rd. Ken Roxon with 4th. Dean Wilson with a 5th. Cole Seeley with 6th. Aaron Plessinger with 7th. Joey Savacci in 8th. Jason Anderson in 9th. Justin Barsha in 10th. Justin Hill in 11th. Friese in 12th. Chad Reed with 13th. Justin Braden with a 14th. Blake Baggett with a 15th. Tyler Bauer with a 16th. Justin Bogle with a 17th. Ben LeMay in 18th place. Angelo Pellegrini in 19th. Alex Ray in 20th. Austin Politelli in 21st, and then Ronnie Stewart in 22nd place.
Yep, so just like the 250s, these 450 points are getting pretty close too. Ken Roxon, 63 points in 1st. Eli Tomac, 61 points in 2nd. Yeah. So also 2-point gap between that 1st and 2nd place. Yeah. Cooper Webb moved up to 3rd place in the points, though. Pretty cool. Yep.
That's definitely amazing for him and for this Premier class. I can't wait for Oakland.
Justin Barsha sitting in 4th in the points. Marvin Muskie in 5th. Dean Wilson 6th. Jason Anderson sitting 7th place in the points. He's got 46 points. So he is almost 20 points behind Ken Roxon. So not a great start for the reigning champ.
Yeah, not not what he was expecting or what we were expecting from Jason Anderson. I remember Jeff Emig saying how he was going to go back-to-back.
Yep.
But he hasn't made a podium yet. So.
Maybe that's why he got fired.
That's probably why.
Oh, you think Anderson's going to win? Oh, that's it. You're gone. But crazy race. We got Oakland coming up next, another California race. Weather's supposed to be good all week, so shouldn't have the problems we had last week. But is there anything else we should add to this episode? Just another great night of racing?
Just make sure you guys check out the videos on our Instagram at MXSX Podcast. Leave us a comment and like it. Tell your friends. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Peace.